Are you like me? You live somewhere where there's no local audio shop, getting out to a can jam's kind of a pain in the ass, and you've got life responsibilities that get in the way. So you've tried everything else. You've extended yourself deep into the hobby of IEMs and headphones and all of that. You've tried out what there is to offer. V-shapes, bassy, bass head, maybe even a couple of neutral brights here and there, but neutral itself has eluded you. You can either fork over $350 for the reference, take some risk with some Etymotic sets or some Canch gems, or, just wait it out, right? Because there's still JM1 with the bass boost. Kinda close. Still not there yet though, is it? So anyway, I found that the Tin HiFi C0 Elf for $25 might be a good starting point to see how you feel about neutral. Let's get into it. When Mark from Super Review did a video on budget sets recently, he surprised even himself by returning to a set that dominated a similar exercise 4 years ago in the Tin HiFi C0 Elf. I knew I had to check it out. A small, bullet-style IEM with a metal shell containing a 10mm PU plus titanium-plated dynamic driver, the CO shouldn't be able to trade blows after years of research, production advances, and much better accessories packed in, yet it won its Concha combat. I know I'm not the only one who had to check this set out. The price on these off Amazon is about $26 right now, and for the money, other sets include much better accessories. The cable that comes with the C0 is just as bad as the awful KZ ones. The tips are soft but nothing to write home about. I ended up with a new cable on them and a set of spin fit ear tips, which helped with the comfort and seal. What surprised me was the sound blew me away. Subtle, mature, and while the treble can at times be overwrought compared to the Volume S, for literally $300 less, the overall differences aren't as vast as you'd expect. In fact, the treble issues are problems that plague all budgets of single dynamic driver IEMs. It's not unique to the C0. With modest EQ applied, these issues subside, and it's alarming how good this IEM really is. The level of refinement is sort of mind-blowing. No, while you aren't buying yourself a perfect $26 reference IEM, what you're getting is a mature, competent, and quality IEM that, while older, shows that newer isn't always going to be better. If the last few months have taught me anything, it's that neutral should have never been seen as a dirty word in audio, especially understanding that flat speaker responses have always been the goal for home audio, and that the job of our outer ear canal is to shape that sound before it enters the canal. Think of your ear like a sound chamber or like an amphitheater that intercepts sounds, pads it, and reflects it to our ear canals. There's a reason why we need a hump in the upper mids and treble for IEMs and headphones, devices that place the speakers directly feeding into the ear canals, so close that the usual function of the outer ear is bypassed. When someone like Crin says ear or pinna gain, that's what they're talking about, and how devices are tuned to compensate for the function of those ears. So my question for you is this. If devices tuned neutrally are tuned to reflect how the average ear hears a flat speaker, and that most of us would agree a flat response speaker system is a magical experience, why when we're putting these devices into our ears are we averse to getting a similar experience? If an overzealous subwoofer would drown out a mix, or an uncontrolled treble would make songs piercing, why are we afraid of IEMs being neutral? We all have our personal preferences, and there's always something to be said for that deep, thumpy bass response that we can feel in our chest. But a well-tuned IEM can provide that without drowning the mix in bass, especially if adding extra bass means needing to balance out the treble, otherwise the delicate balance gets ruined. Outside of needing more treble because of hearing loss-related problems or unique sensitivities of an individual's ears, it's becoming increasingly difficult to see audio trends and more exciting tunings as an appropriate endgame, and instead are a preference that bleeds over from the world of consumer audio and the less analytical approach to audio that most of us take. So is the Tin HiFi C0 the right thing for you right now? I don't really know. But if you want to try out a neutral set and you've got $25 around, it's worth a shot. Thanks for watching. Leave the comments, whatever. Follow me on my Patreon where I update all my fiction. I have a whole archive of stuff on there. And I'll see you next time. Thanks.